So I'm going to let him just kind of explain what he does, because I think he'll have a far better explanation of what a system innovation coach does. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Wesley.
All right. Many thanks for the introduction. Great to be here at this event with WeWork, talking about that's how tomorrow works. I think over the last year, I think we've all been talking like how tomorrow works, because tomorrow is a bit today. Everything is happening now, a lot of change, and for that, I'm great to talk a bit in that perspective about systemic innovation, systemic awareness, and systemic leadership. All right, so let's get.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right. So yeah, the meeting is being recorded. So if anybody has any issue with that, then we can stop it now. But if not, then we just keep going. So yeah, as I said, I prepared a bit of stuff. We only have an hour, so I need to see that I share a bit the key insights with you that could help you taking one or two steps forward with a bit more insights on dynamics, on team dynamics. And for that, being more aware of dynamics around us in different organizations, in different teams is very valuable. Also for yourself to grow that awareness first, personal development, and then use this awareness in your team, in your environment, to see if there are any discomforts in teams, dysfunctions, and help that in that way forward, also to boost a bit system innovation. So that's a bit what we have installed for you today. So first, a bit of introduction. As we already shared, please turn on the camera. I would love to see some faces. So I think most of us are working from home, listening from home. We're all well acquainted to them, but it's good to see some feel familiar and some unfamiliar faces. So great to also look at Jason Gonzague, been a while. So great to have you here from Bangkok. Mute the microphone in case there's nothing to add. And then if you like to speak up, ask questions, don't wait until the very end. Please make it an interactive session. I love to have that, because then we can really talk about what's needed for all of us today. Because to give a bit of a spoiler, we're also creating now this mini system of us here together this hour talking about this. So we have also a bit of a dynamic, and I hope that our dynamic is a very active one, engaging one, a respectful one. So for that, please unmute, speak, and then of course mute again. And last but not least, the chat box. I think that's also a main vehicle of communication in the next minutes. Please use that to give a bit of input, and then I'll look at that and build on it. Okay, so the first one to ask a bit of your feedback is, we take a step into a small future. Let's say we go 50 minutes forward, and the session is a wrap-up. It was a great investment of your time. So my question is, because of what? So what's the key thing that you would love to learn about this? And I would love to, if you can put that in the chat box, that would be great. So what's systemic for you? What's the thing that you like to clarify? How to efficiently leverage what's already present in an organization? Okay, a great question. I learned what system innovation entails. Okay, good. We'll talk a bit about that. So what I'll try to do is a bit of talk about system innovation, but then also maybe a bit more spend times on the fundamental. It's like learning a sport. First, you need to have the fundamentals, and if you really are an expert with the fundamentals, when pressure comes, when there is a time constraint, then because you handle these fundamentals very well, you will get the most out of it. So I'll give a bit of both sides. Components of system innovation. All right, good to see. Okay, thanks for the input, and please keep it coming. I'll look from time to time to the chat. Okay, let's go back to the Miro board. All right. So a bit of background about myself. Some people already know me, others not. So I started my career in a very technical manner. So I started as an engineer biochemistry. So I formulated the liquids, the liquid detergents for fabric care, for dish care, for Procter & Gamble. And then I spent some time also at Ecolab. So always in a corporate R&D context. And what I learned along the way, to make a very long story short, is even if you have great capabilities, you have very smart people, you have fantastic patents, advantages versus competition. Often a project would not turn into a success, that there were bottlenecks and we tried to move it forward, but for some reason or another, and we could not really see why, yet the cogs, as you've seen in the whole, were not really working. And that really brought my focus on team dynamics, on leadership, and also a different aspect for me personally, to share a bit my personal origin, my system of origin is, I have a natural affinity to teams, to collaboration, because my father was quite a successful basketball player on a Belgian, on a European level. He won quite some cups as well, and from a very young age I was really dropped into this team context. So I will never forget that I was able as a small boy to go with him in the big locker room with these big gigantic players, like 2 hours before the game, and then you could smell the tension, you could smell the spray they put on the legs to heat up their muscles, you could hear the tape wrapping around their ankles, and that thing I will never forget, and that really brought me a high passion for teamwork. And that's what I try to do today. So a bit combining all this innovation, the innovation expertise I got from my corporate innovation days, together with really optimizing the team dynamics, the human dynamics, because at the end of the day, it's by people, for people. And that's my focus within Gage, and helping leaders and teams to become aware of bottlenecks in their dynamics, in their team's organization, so we can talk about them, we can untangle them, and then we can move forward. So that's a bit in a nutshell, a bit my leading principle. And a question also to you, so what makes for you a great team, a great dynamic? Could be a community, could be a sport team, could be a team you're involved in, or a team you look up to, it could be an organization. So if you could drop a couple of lines in the chat, that would be great to see what's for you the key thing, the key differentiator that makes a great team. Communication, I see. Thanks, Jason. Blindly able to find each other and proactively get in. Indeed, you know exactly where everybody is. You can depend on each other. Somebody has your back. Authenticity, safety, holding space, diversity, trust. All very, very true matters. And of course today, you can have sessions about diversity, you can have sessions about trust, about authenticity. Today I will look at all these things a bit with a systemic hat on, and we'll come to that in a second. Thanks for sharing. All right, so first a bit about systemic awareness. So often, and that's what you see here in this quite known cartoon, is when there is a problem, when something is in our way, we are all brought up, we are all educated in a very proactive, analytical manner. So we have all our key areas of expertise, and we attack the problem, and we cut it into pieces, and we try to solve the big problem piece by piece. And then somebody looks at the tooth, and he says, it's a spear, it's a fan, it's a snake, because nobody always has the complete picture, because we are so biased with our own expertise, with our own model of the world. And what systemic awareness brings us is that it invites us to take a step back and not to look at the one piece you think is a bit the main root cause, but look at the whole. Because often, and that's what systemic experts also say, a problem often does not want to be fixed, rather it wants to be understood. It tells us something. And that's a big shift in paradigms, because for us, problem is equal on solving it and you need to bring the solution. But before you jump into it, what is a problem trying to tell us? Because often it's just a symptom of a deeper laying root cause. And by looking at it systemically, we can go to this deeper laying root cause. And so you have heard me talking a lot about, yeah, system this, systemic that, system. And of course, yeah, we use that word for many different meanings. And to be perfectly clear about what I talk about it today, it's not like an IT platform. It's not something technical. It's more like a group of interdependent entities. So for us, a group of human beings with a common focus and a common identity. That's a system. And in that system, there is this specific relational web, as you can see here. And this web often tells us something. But often we are focused on one-on-one interactions and never we look at this web in the middle. And that's a bit my invitation of today's session to you. And systems all around us. From looking at our own body, like our own cells with their nucleus, with their mitochondria, with the cell membrane. It's a system by itself, but it's a part of something much bigger, of an organ, and different organs work together in a bigger system, which is our organisms, our human body. And then we, as a human body, we belong to, as they call, a system of origin. So the system we grew up in, with mother and father, siblings. So as you can see, there's many systems all around us. And we as human beings belong to different systems. So we can belong, of course, to our family of origin, because otherwise we would not be here. And then you would belong to a certain professional environment, a networking environment, maybe a sport environment, a club, a community. And every system, as the picture shows, belong to a bigger system. And for example, the universe is then a bit the exclamation point on that. All right, so a bit of talking from my side, and now an invitation to you to do a bit self-awareness exercise, and I invite you, and you can stop the video or not, or you can close your eyes or not, and just an invitation to a bit